Guys, I had to get fingerprints done to get into this place. That's the security that they're dealing with here. And comes to show that I need to learn Portuguese because I'm in the deep end of this shit. I'm in the thick of Brazil. Like if you look at the city, if you could see the cameras, if you could see what I'm talking about, I'm in the thick of it. Thick. Like I'm dropping everything and only leaving with like 100 real, 400 tops, and now I'm leaving scared, even though 400 is like $80, but still, that's a lot of money. So this is some things I'm thinking about. I gotta look at you, camera. That's you. You're looking at me. But as much as this is like, it looks like a pretty nice, decent place, out in the streets, it's no games, man. Yo, there's real poverty over there. It's no joke. It's no joke. And I'm being really American right now. But I like these trips. I'm doing this by myself. I love it. May you guys also venture out on your own to break yourselves in. Get uncomfortable with that and getting comfortable being uncomfortable. Well, this is my Airbnb. To be honest with you, maybe it's because it took me forever to get in here because I had to get some help. Because I'm like, yo, why is it not opening? I feel so American. This is where the American comes in. But anyways, this is my Airbnb. This is fucking kind of cool. I don't know why. Like, I just like all that I'm seeing. I just got in here just a second ago. So let's just look and feel. First off, let's just get a little bit. I could definitely feel the South America. Just the vibe, man. The toilets is a vibe, bro. The toilets and the showers is a vibe. It's almost, you feel it. The air also makes you feel it. So this is my Airbnb. Okay, that's cool. Awesome. Cool. I needed one of those. It's cool. Whatever. We're gonna do an Antarctica. Damn. Look at this. So this is it. This is the balcony. It's a tiny balcony, but look at this shit. On an April and it's 70 degrees. This shit is nice. By the way, it looks so much different above than it is when you're in the city. See, like, this is my analysis. Of course, I'm gonna do a cultural, psychological, sociological analyses. But the truth is, my friends, when you're down on the ground over there, it looks a lot more rough. It's rougher looking when you're down on the streets. That's the most interesting thing about this area, right? Like, the photos give it more of a zhuzh, as a certain comedian may have said, but it gives it a certain zhuzh, of course, because you gotta love the photos, they do that. But then when you're up here as well, it still is like the secondary version of those Airbnb photos. But when you're on the ground, man, I swear, man, you feel the hood, you feel the gutter. I'm sorry if I'm using old school words, but I'm just saying these are my ways of saying anything synonymous with it's not all roses and rainbows on the first floor. I'm telling you the truth. Can I tell you the truth? Tell you the truth. This is Brazil. Or at least this is São Paulo. This is at least how about this? This is a part of São Paulo. How about that? All right. I'm still trying to get my mind together because I'm off of no sleep and I really want to just venture out, but I'm going to venture out with no money. And by the way, you probably want to see my face too a little bit, right? You want to see my ugly face because right now I'm fucking off of no beauty rest. But man, this is beautiful. It's beautiful. The sun's out. Guns is out. See the guns? They're out. They're out too. But yeah, man, I want to see this place. I want to walk out. I want to venture out. Just know, can't be bringing this nice phone that I have with me. I gotta bring out my cheap phones. This is my secondary phone, right? But I have also another one that I'm still trying to open because it's been forever trying to crack that shit open. But I have 3 phones. I have a very old one from like 2017. I have another one that's from like 2020. And then I have this one from 2023 and beyond. And I have to do best with it. That's my mother. But I want to walk around and really feel the pulse of the city. I'm going to dress down a little bit more, right? I'm obviously not going to be carrying bags. That's another thing too. I don't want to carry bags. Like, you know, like I just want to like be like the rest of the people here. You know, I want to blend in. It's like special forces, my friend. Special forces. Special forces. I call it special forces. Special faucets. Farrah Fawcett. Special faucets. I know you get to hear me. Oh, yo, and look at that. There's these interesting flowers. You can't see it as well in this photo, but they're like these nice, cool flowers. They just pop out of nowhere. They're flowers that just pop out of nowhere. Like all these trees, and they're all green, and then bloop, 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 a couple of them are just popping out. Popping out. Flopping out, popping out. All right, I'm gonna stop talking for this moment so we can move into the next segment. Chill. Hey guys, so I must also point out that if you are going to travel, make sure that the place either has one of these kind of universal adapters or connectors, or you're gonna have to buy one yourself. So I actually had bought 2 over my travels, and I knew I would have to brought, you know, one of these, just because, you know, again, this is a different country. It's not a country that comes with accommodations like that, right? You know, you see how this is the plug, right? So you're gonna have to buy one of these, which is what I did, and it connects, you know, one of those 2-prong. It also connects to 3 prongs, but it connects your 2-prong, and it has a juice for it, you know. Yeah, so just letting you know, otherwise you'll be SOL. You may have to go find one of these, wherever that might be. Also, I must say, you should know at least 25% Portuguese, because if you don't know it, you are just now winging it. You are spinning the bottle and hoping that your Russian roulette, in a good way, works. So I'm taking about 200 real out for this evening, which is equivalent to about like 40 something dollars, 40 American dollars, and that's all I'm gonna bring. I'm gonna probably let this phone go, but I'm gonna take my old school phone with me. The other one apparently is just not working. I had this one, but it's just not allowing me to log in, and this is an old phone, and I wanted to actually bring this one out because I don't mind losing this, but can't log in, saying sorry, iPhone has been disabled, you have to connect to iTunes to get in. I forgot the password. But all right, well, I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna see if maybe I could get some footage in a restaurant, but you're not gonna be seeing me flash a phone out because I just don't want to be your target for anything, even though I got like 200 real. Yeah. All right, let's see what we can do. See if we can catch up, cough up something. Grab the pulse of the city this evening. It's about 11:03 p.m. in São Paulo. The weather right now is 57 degrees Fahrenheit. And I believe I am in the downtown central area. Nighttime. What's up, everybody? How you doing? It's Anthony out here in Sao Paulo, Brazil, South America. And I wanted to come back here to this come back to my actual phone, you know, my main phone, which is this, and just give you a little talk about today. So it's a reminder that every time I travel to a country, I really want to feel it out. I want to feel like a mayor. I want to feel like I own the place. I want to feel like I know the place. I want to feel like when I walk the city, the town, the place is me, right?
I can say there's an indication when I know that this is doing well, but I think that's the first thing that people need to do when they drop off into a country. Don't be the whole, it's one thing you have a week or you have several days to go do plans. It should never be planned from the moment you get there. Unless you have just a day to spare, unless you have 4 hours to spare. When you arrive to a country, if you have at least 6 days or more, like myself, right? I have 6 days. Take just that day or even a half a day to roam the streets. You know what I'm saying? Take that half a day to really feel, you know what I'm saying? Just feel the environment. Just feel the people, the citizens. Just have an infant-like curiosity, fascination. Like, here's some things I picked up. Colognes and perfumes. There's just a Brazilian, like, this is like the culture. They wear a specific cologne and perfume. This is the one thing, right? Second off, just when you think, you hear the stories about like the tough things that go on. I mean, for instance, in Brazil, I think if you work accordingly, like, hold on a second. So when you travel, you want to go accordingly, right, to the place you are in. I like to typically dress like the rest of the people, like the citizens of that area. So in Brazil, I would like to wear, clothes that I got from Walmart that I wore, and such. But maybe not even do my hair. This time around, I actually decided to up, my game a little bit, which I don't know if that's good or bad. I tried to like bring a couple dressy things, but again, I got like my hair done, you know what I'm saying? I got like my, I got shaved. I'm also in shape. So there's some things that obviously stand out maybe a little bit. And also the fact that I can't speak Portuguese. Can't. I would go, huh? And I try to say something in Spanish. But I'm just going to reiterate again. When you travel to a country the very first day, just take that time to, I don't want to say aimlessly roam around. Just walk around the perimeter maybe. Walk around just within the radius, maybe a mile radius, half-mile radius. Just walk around the area and just smell it, hear it, feel it. Because you want to be comfortable in the place that you're in. Because one thing you want to feel comfortable around the people that you're going to be like walking past. Because obviously, right, that whole idea of like, I don't know, I see people, oncoming people, even in the States, who you could see the fear in their face, and it's like, oh my God, dude, if you came off more comfortable, I bet you less people would bother you. If you, if you came off a little more comfortable, instead of all, right? That's number one, because that's the weakness. It seems like people attract to weakness, right? Second, walk confidently, right? Walk confidently. Sometimes you gotta watch out if you give people looks in the eyes. They're gonna be like, yo, you wanna fight? I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying that's my experience is, at least in New York, if you look at people, that's kind of grounds for fighting. But if you walk up straight and your head is looking very whatever, people don't bother you. But I also have a belief too that when you walk around, you get comfortable with the area, you get comfortable with yourself, less people take advantage of you, less people bother you because you become the people. And like, of course, I'm gonna add this in. I'm male. This is Brazil. I'm male. I'm black, right? I'm in shape, so I got a few things going on for me. Traveling alone, but I feel if you could do a couple things, like I said, taking a walk around. I also like to use the whole idea of meditation too, because meditation also eases that tension off your body, eases that tension off your muscles, and then of course from your mind. So you walk around a lot more comfortable and clear. And another thing I must say too is, when you're feeling comfortable, your brain is comfortable, and therefore you're able to actually soak in. You get to soak in the culture and the life that's in places like São Paulo, Brazil. So Bon dia.
I had people coming into the restaurant begging. Like there were homeless people coming inside this restaurant, even though it was kind of indoors. There were little children coming in, and they were cute little kids. So of course they bring the small little kids coming inside to beg for money, and they also gave them scripts. These kids, like you know what I'm saying, almost emotional, like not necessarily like scripts that says I want this da da da. No, it was like they told a story. They told it. I'm not gonna say they told it with conviction. It was just like, so, you know, I need, you know, something's happening in my school, and like, you know, something's happening in my school. The teachers are messing around with the students, and they're making the kids angry. I'm just saying it in a way that's so fluid throughout. These kids that look like between 5 to 7 years old, and I'm like, what? So you're sitting there eating, and I have this delicious plate, and I'm drinking caipirinha, which of course I show you the video. And of course, you know, yeah, I couldn't take a full thing, but now you know. There it is.
Well, before I could go to bed, the policia is here, about to arrest one, two. Wish you could see it. Can't kind of see it, but let's. Fascinating behavior. Hey everybody, when I leave my place, I try to only take up to 400 Brazilian real. That is equivalent, 400 is equivalent to about $80, 80 American dollars. I have right here 390 real, which is about 77 US dollars as the filming of today. I don't take more than that. I keep the rest, you know, in my hotel Airbnb, in a safe, but that's it, you know, because if you come here with a full week's, you know, so you took out a whatever money, you know, in my case, I only took about, let's see, I try to make 400 real per day, you know, 400 real per day, that's what, times 6, 480 bucks, or at least I may have taken a little bit more just to top it off at $500. And that's $500 for the week, right? I haven't even spent that much yet. It's day 2, day 3, because I got here Wednesday, right? No, I got Thursday, so this is day 3, and I have yet to spend anything because the things here, I just been going to cheap places to eat. Beer, you could get beer on the street. You know what I'm saying? You get it at a kiosk, you know, like water and soda. Yeah, man, that's yeah, it's you know, you're coming here with American money. I mean, there's probably other places like Sweden and stuff that Norway where the money just freaking just makes our money clearly, of course, a lot easier. Or I mean, makes our money look like pennies and pesos. But just even American money, it's amazing. So there you go. And this is again from the scene from the top in my Airbnb. It's a Saturday. About 70 degrees, and it can be anywhere between partly to mostly sunny. It's funny because when you're up here, it feels a little cold, but when you're down there, it gets hot. And for me, I think maybe it's because I'm getting I don't know. I just wear shorts and flip-flops. And some people, you can see they're wearing flip-flops. Some people are wearing pants. Some people are wearing long sleeves. Some people are even wearing jackets. It's super interesting, but it's hot. For me, I'm sweating. If you see sweat beat down my face, it is clearly hot. So, yeah. Also, if you're actually curious, you know, or if you're thinking about, hey, man, I don't, you know, sometimes there might be places where you may be strapped for cash. You may have brought for the moment, for the day, for that day going out, you know, not as much money as you wanted, you know. So I also say bring a credit card. Here's 2 reasons, and of course, for some people who are skeptical, just hear me out. Number 1, a credit card is better than a debit card, and you can fight me on that, whoever disagrees, but a credit card is better than a debit card. If any theft that occurs, it's not your money. It's the card holders' money, right? And they're gonna do whatever they can to make sure that they get that money back. You know, there's a security team or teams around the world looking after this money versus a debit card where, yeah, there's a security team, but it's respectful to the bank itself. You know what I'm saying? It's not on a massive scale. You know, IT has been doing, you know, tremendous things thanks to the pandemic to making sure that customer data information has been safeguarded. You know, obviously there's always loopholes, but nevertheless, it's way better than before. So here's another thing too. Grab a card that has the lowest balance on it, right? So this one right here doesn't have much. You know, I chose to take this one. I also chose to take my Chase card just in case. So this one only has $500 on it, but my Chase card has a lot more on it. It has, I think, about $10,000. So the reason why I brought those cards versus other ones was because, number one, this only has $500 on it. And number two, the Chase card has, wanted to show both of them, of course, but the Chase card has wonderful security on it. Like, security is the best, right? So between the high balance and or at least, yeah, the high available balance with the Chase and the security, and the low available balance on this Capital One, like, you know, obviously I'm gonna take the Capital One out. I don't have to worry if it does get stolen or whatever. There's only $500 on it. The Capital or the Chase Freedom card has a higher balance in the event that this were to, you know, be stolen or whatever. So I bring those two, you know. So I just keep that in mind, you know. In the event you went out and you were like, oh shit, I forgot, I didn't take this much money. There are some businesses, not all, but there are some businesses that take the credit debit. So far, I have been finding people with that whole Stripe system. So something to think about. So I definitely want to showcase a couple of the beers here from Brazil. This one is called, well, it's a lager, but apparently, is this the one? I think, no, this is not the darker one. Okay, I've had a porter before, but this is a lager from Brazil, São Paulo. This one is from apparently brewed in Brazil too. This is like kind of like a Budweiser flavor, but they put it in a nice dainty, can. So 2 beers showcased there. I was like thinking, these are the things that I don't want to leave home without. And making me think of a Kendrick Lamar song, because it's like passport money, and that passport money. So looking back again, this is basically my essentials for the day. I have my passport for identification, because where I'm staying at has like a concierge and a security guard that makes sure that you ID through your fingerprint. So they have fingerprint getting in there, but also they want your identification to know. But I also want that for just other identification purposes for myself. I could leave it back, but you know, I don't know. Just watching some of the shows of foreigners getting, you know, caught up in wrong situations. At least I have that to show, right? And then the most of the day, about up to 400 real, perhaps a credit card with a low balance. So this one only has 500. And then of course my old, it's an old cell phone. This is a case on it. It actually is supposed to have something nice and rubbery on it, but it's an old iPhone. And I take that with me instead of this phone that I have here, which is the iPhone 13, 14. So this is what I'm gonna wear today. This might be a little too dressy. Since I'm taking an Uber and Lyft, or Uber, I'm gonna have to use my main phone. So you might hear a little contradiction. So this is the outfit that I'm gonna wear today. This might be a little too dressed up for Sao Paulo, but I figured this would be something that I wanted to wear to quote unquote look good to certain areas. Because other than that, I look like a pauper when I wear the other outfits going into some nice restaurants. Also, like I said, I was talking before about the whole idea of like, oh, you should be walking to learn about your place. Well, if you do, you know, you take an Uber, you're gonna have to, of course, use your phone that uses Wi-Fi. This is why, another reason why I think it's cool to just really get an idea because the museum that I'm gonna go to today, the 2 museums, actually the many places that I'm actually gonna frequent to are within about 35 minute walk. So 35 minute walk, you know, that's like a 6 to 10 minute Uber drive. You choose, but again, there it is. This is apparently the courtyard. It's pretty cool because what they have is snacks if you want. There's like a little vending machine you spend there. And then of course it has, you know, your sodas, your waters. I didn't even know that. Then of course they have beer. But you could get that anywhere. Like you could find that in a kiosk or like a little small grocery store on the streets where they sell it. There's like water and they sell it just like soda. So this is cool. Just discovered this. So here I am in my lobby. This is a fucking nice idea that they have. You know, you could just, it's kind of nice, plush, Airbnb. I have a lot of things that I definitely want to talk about. So it's so interesting. In this area that I'm staying at, the Airbnb is nice. They have a lot of great, you know, things. They have a concierge and all that stuff like that. But if you walk up the street about 35 minutes up a certain street, that's where like you see like everyone's flashing their phones, everyone's dressed really well. You see a lot of differences, you know? There's a lot of differences in my observations of things. Like, first off, the people up the street, you know, that's like 35-minute walk, 6-minute drive or something like that. The people are much lighter skinned and they're dressed up a lot better. Okay, so yeah, these are motion sensors. So it seems like it's gonna get me every time to get some light. But I have my observations, and I wanna say, man, if you're traveling alone, know your edge. My edge, I'm a black male. I look like the people here. So it kind of gets me by a little bit. So maybe I should follow up a little bit more onto what I was trying to say. Hanging out in the Airbnb again. Just observations as I walk outside. So in the area that I'm in is in downtown. This is the area where, you know, obviously it's just a lot of people. But the next thing is too, is like, that's the area where you don't flash your phone. However, you go up the street a little bit more, about a half-hour walk, if not 5, whatever, 10-minute drive. And man, different vibe over there. Everybody's flashing their phones. They're out taking selfies, looking at their maps, reading shit. I'm like, really? I had to keep the discipline though, because, you know, being in America, you could just flash your phone everywhere you go and nobody's gonna do anything. I mean, unless you go to really a suspect place. But in America, for the most part, there's not people. You don't have to worry about your phone. Every time you take out your phone, you don't have to worry about someone quickly pickpocketing it or your whatever. And, you know, and I've been watching some of the videos on YouTube about, you know, looking at like surveillance and people getting robbed and stuff. But in that area, you don't have to worry. Right now, it's about midnight. I slept a little too long. I said, let me come back here, took a nap at around 5:36, and I woke up at 9. So now you know I'm probably gonna be up for a while, I think. I mean, I wouldn't mind going back to bed. But seeing people out, it's midnight, and there's this one, like, it looks like a diner, and it's packed. Like, I feel like people are eating standing up. Like, there's tables there and people are eating, and it kind of looks cool. And you know, there's a lot to think about and tell you right now, but people are dressed up as well. So I think if like you're from Brazil, you know the place, you can dress up. Actually, I'm glad I brought a couple outfits. I brought a button-up shirt. It's cold right now because this is April. It's about 70-something degrees, at least in the middle of the day. Around nighttime, it goes down to like 50 or 40 degrees. Translation, if we could put the translation of Celsius for you. You know, the highs of today was 70. Lows of today is like 40. People wearing jackets, pants, you know, you see all that. But people dressing up, man. I mean, you see, and I'm gonna segue into this next thing. You know, women are dressed up really well. You know, like that's another thing. Like women are dressed up really well. You know, they're wearing heels and dresses and skirts and stuff. I'm like, wow, okay. Like they're going to the club or something. I don't know. You know, obviously the people looking good. The guys are also looking good. Some of them wearing kind of like suits type thing. You know, minus the tie. That's really cool. Segue. I'm on the Hinge app, and I wanted to see what it looked like down here dating.
And the women that, I've only been here for 2 days, but like I've been matching, of course. And the women, from my observation, and I've talked to them. Of course, I'm talking to them right now because I just want to see what's going on. Some of them are from Brazil. Some of them have lived in the States and then moved back, and then some of them are just recently moved here. And then a small bit of them are saying, "Hey, I'm moving to Sao Paulo and whatever." So I'm moving to Sao Paulo from New York City in June. I've been seeing some of those prompts. So it's really interesting. I think I'll put it in here. You know what? Might as well say this because, this is super interesting. In America, I normally match with women, and I think that's purposefully. I match with women that are around my age, right? Here is a little bit different. Women significantly younger than me are like, they're sending me flowers on Hinge. That's nice. But like, nevertheless, like, it's so different. Like here, like as a man, I don't know. This is what I'm learning. I'm watching the YouTubes, listening to all this about the dating scene and the sexual market value. But like, women significantly younger are reaching out to me, and I'm not necessarily reaching out to them, right? So that's super interesting. Yeah. So far, these are my observations. It's midnight. I'm assuming the night is young. Like, I bet you I could go out and I probably could go grab something to eat, or at least get some drinks, listen to some music like I did the first night, which was so awesome, going to different spots. And another thing too is like, I really do like I feel like I blend in here, especially with what, depending on what I wear as well. But there's a couple things, right? Number one, I'm a black male, and also I have a stature of me, right? I'm 6 feet, 200 pounds. I'm not like, also when I walk around, I keep kind of a straight face, a straight face. Maybe the sun's in my eyes, so I'm like that. But nobody messes with me. No homeless people mess with me. Maybe one or two people like, hey, money, right? A child came up to me in a restaurant, hey, money. Some dude there was a concert going on. Some dude that looked, just like a regular person, or just a person who isn't homeless. How about that? Because we're all regular people. We're all average people. It just depends on what we do with this that makes us above average, right? And we could debate on that and philosophize about that. But, yeah, man. This is tales from the tales from the hood. No, tales from the crypt. No, tales from Sao Paulo. I mean, look, like it's a good thing, man. The fact that I blend in. But the next thing is though, since the way they speak Brazilian, the way Portuguese Brazilian spoken, and I can speak Spanish. Yo puedo hablar en español. En la manera que yo hablo es más o menos como Latino, español. But when I speak it and when I speak Brazilian or Portuguese, it because I don't know how to speak it, the American comes out and they'll always ask like, where are you from? And I know I shouldn't say this, but I think as a conversation starter, as I would say with business people, I'll be like, oh, I'm from the States. Like my Uber driver, I'll tell them that. Or the business owner from that first night, I'll tell them that. But I don't want to necessarily say that because I kind of don't want to give up my cover. Like my cover right now is I'm a Brazilian dude and nobody's messing with me. Like I decided to go to a little kiosk grocery store right across the street to grab some water or whatever. And I decided to sit down and just feel the pulse of tonight. And just by simply like sitting down, because that's what pretty much homeless people do. People who are looking for money, they normally sit down. If you go to Boston, you see the same thing. Homeless people are always sitting down. That is the sign that says, hey, I need money. So I got in that stance and I said, you know what, let me blend in even more. Because let's be honest, man, homeless people are the most invisible people to most people. Homeless people in all parts of the world are looked down upon, are the most, invisible to people. So I said, all right, well, I'm already blending with people. Let me blend in even more. And I'm wearing, you know, flip-flops, you know, I'm wearing this shirt, you know, I'm wearing, you know, I wish I could, yeah, I'm wearing, like, this is like my outfit, you know, flip-flops, this, I don't know, it depends, right? Because, like, I'm a little, you know, maybe you can't see it, but I'm, you know, I have a little shape to me. I don't have a gut. I got some, like, you know, I got a little muscle to me. I got, you know, if you can't see it through this, but anyways, like, you know, how between my stature, my look, and you know, perhaps, and just the way I like just conduct myself, like I blend in. So until I start talking, which I might get afraid of that because I don't want to blow my cover. Some situations that I have been in, like some situations that I have been in, like here, I don't know, it reminds me of some movie I forgot. I'm thinking of Training Day when Officer Hoyt, you know, the white guy, and Denzel Washington, he brings him to this like really sketch out neighborhood, and he brings him into an apartment, and then he's there, and like, yo, like, I don't know, but I felt it, even though I wasn't white, even me, if I go into that neighborhood, they'd be like, yo, what are you doing here? You know it's trouble. You're like, oh shit, something's gonna happen. And I went into some of these neighborhoods, and I'm like, fuck it, let's just eat. Just don't open your mouth. You know, you'll say this, whatever. And fortunately, they didn't blow my cover, the waitresses. To be honest with you, man, like, it's to the point where, like, yo, I was there in this most sketched out neighborhood, and nobody fucking, like, fucked with me. As a matter of fact, maybe this is just in my mind, one dude looked super, like, I don't know, I'm gonna say this word, I felt like I was intimidating them. Like, oh shit, I hope he's not gonna try to pull out something or try to steal something. And I'll be honest with you, in times like this, I like that perception. I like knowing that, like, yo, I could come in someplace, I either blend in or don't fuck with him, right? I got the don't fuck with you demeanor. I don't know, and I don't do that purposefully. I just come in and go, look, man. And this is another thing I want to tell you guys. That's why I really believe, like, you walk around neighborhoods, whether that's Sweden, whether that's America, whether that's Sao Paulo, just get used to just feeling like you live here, like you're part of this place. Because when you do, you know, it'll show on the outside. Everything is a psychology, man. Everything is a psychology. Your body language, man. I feel just by going and getting comfortable with neighborhoods makes your body language more comfortable. It shows like, oh my God, I don't know this place well, because that is a target for people to be like, let's fuck with that person. But the fact that I walked around and I got familiarized, you know what I'm saying? I acculturated myself, or, you know, I broke myself in, and I'm gonna still do it. The more I'm here, the more often I go outside, the more I blend in with this area. So that's my thoughts for today, or at least this moment. So this is like my Latin or America, Brazilian outfit. Like, I didn't want to dress too nice, but I knew that I was gonna go out someplace, so I'm about to go get some sushi. Didn't want to tuck it out. I kind of want to just play a little bit like I'm not from America. Because if I did America, I'd probably dress like it's like you dressed up, but you're not dressed up. And I feel like that's kind of like South America. Like, that's what I think. South America is that. That's what I believe. I don't know, especially if we're here in a country like Brazil, you kind of just want to just do what you got to do. It's a hot area, so obviously 2 buttons down. There you go. There you go, my friend. My friend!